And here we are, 12 games into the season with the Ottawa Senators, and they're dead last in the Atlantic. This isn't a place
Yeah.
where Pierre Dorion thought he'd be this early. Uh, Vote of confidence for his coach, DJ Smith. Is that like really a kiss of death, really?
Usually it is, Kyper, when the GM comes out and says something like that, and it's like 2 weeks later, coach is fired. I don't think that's going to happen. Number one, because teams for sale. I don't think they would be in a position, even if they wanted to. Let's just say they wanted to go down that route. Why would you want to fire the coach while you're trying to sell the team? All of a sudden, you're paying two coaches, and the new owners can hold on a second here. I'm paying two guys buying this team. So I think that has a little bit to do with it. And number two, look at how this team is built, Kyper. And there was a lot of hype in the summer. People were excited. You brought in DeBrincat, you brought in Giroux. I love the Giroux signing. By the way, I thought that was much needed. And DeBrincat's a really good player. I said this in the summer. There's one thing this team didn't address. They didn't address the blue line. And I don't care how good your forwards are. I don't care how much talent. You got 40-goal scorers. You got all these guys. How are you going to win when you can't break the puck into your own zone? How are you going to win when you've got guys on your back end that have defensive issues in defending? And that's why the Ottawa Senators are losing right now. It's not from a lack of talent. It's number one. That's a lack of experience. They've got two injuries in Zub and Josh Norris. And all of a sudden, if you look at their center ice position, they have no experience down there except down in their fourth-hole position. But add in the defense, the lack of depth at center, guys. That's why they're losing. And for DJ, I just don't see them firing him right now. For me, it's tough to blame the coach when there's a lot of holes in this lineup, and I think Pierre Dorion needs to own some of this, guys. He didn't address the blue line in the summer, and all you got to do is look who they're playing tonight. They're playing the New Jersey Devils. Why are they off to a good start? What did they do in the offseason? Well, they made some big moves with their defense, and because of that, they're one of the top teams in the league right now.
Pierre Dorion did refer to himself in the third person the other day. I don't know if you heard that. So he's starting to feel himself. Pierre Dorion's a loyal guy.
Jimmy likes his sneakers. Jimmy.
So Jimmy likes the lane. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's all we've been doing all week is Pierre. Jimmy.
I'm glad you guys are doing it because I couldn't believe it. He not only did he doubled down on it.
I know.
He did a Pierre Dorion, then he did a Pierre, and I'm like. That's Jimmy.
You're stealing Jimmy from Seinfeld, man.
Okay, guys, I'll throw it back to you guys. Okay, they got DeBrincat. They brought in DeBrincat, and number one, what that did, it complicated who are you going to put on your first power play. And all of a sudden, DJ Smith has got like 7 different forwards he can put in. It's always good to have options. Kyper, you played with a lot of really good players. And you tell me that if you're a guy that's a first power play guy and you're starting second and you're getting 20 to 30 seconds, are you going to be happy about that?
If you're lucky, you get 30 with some of these guys and now what they're getting paid. And we had this conversation. And, of course, Marner and Matthews have a far greater credit card to charge big minutes on a power play than some of the other guys in Ottawa. But these guys now, they've got new contracts, Yorkie, and they ain't coming off until they get their cookie.
Well, I always say this, and everybody says about Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. They lead the league in points, and it's not even close. When you watch them play the power play, they take the full 2 minutes almost every single time. The second unit gets 10 seconds. And it's not a shot at McDavid or Draisaitl. If I was coaching, I would do the same thing. But their power play ice is incredible. And sometimes on the power play, it might not work the first minute and 20, and they end up scoring in that minute and 40 part of the power play. But with Ottawa, they started the season going 1A and 1B because they had the unit from last year with Stützle, with Tkachuk, with Norris and Batherson. Then all of a sudden, DJ's like, well, how the heck am I going to get DeBrincat and Claude Giroux on the ice for their power play time? Because you got a 40-goal scorer and one of the best players of this era on the power play, in Claude Giroux. And I just thought those moves, everybody loved them. But the first thing I said was, what's going to go off the power play? And then, hey, why didn't you get a defenseman? So here we are. They are where they are. It's not all because of that, but I think there's a lot more to that than people ever talk about, because it's a known fact.